All right. Guys, I can't believe that I'm the last speaker of the night. I'm really nervous. I guess it's okay though, because even if this is disappointing, we've already got your money, so. I'm really self-conscious and nervous about this, but it's really weird because the thing that I have on the top of my mind is I'm thinking about how this headset is making my hair look. Thank you, thanks. Guys, I just wanted to say before I started talking that I'm so grateful for being here, and I'm so blown away by all of the talks that we've had tonight. I think this is something that has touched me, and I feel like this is something that we should be sharing with the entire school, with the community. I just wanted to talk about like Diana. I am also from Empanada, except it's not Mexican empanada, it's Filipino empanada. Like Jocelyn, I am the product of a tough divorce, a really ugly divorce. And like Tammy, Miss Taylor, I know what it's like to be picked on and to be left out. And just like LT, I tend to fart a lot. So. Actually, that's a lie. I do pretty good about hiding my farts. So my name is Mr.Recato. I teach art here at Federal Way High School for about 7 years now. And I've come to really feel comfortable here at this school, that it really is, it's like a second home to me. So I feel comfortable about sharing what I'm going to be sharing with you tonight. The talk that I'm going to be giving you is called Adjusting Your Mirrors, or Quieting Your Critical Inner Voice. So when Mr. Cameron was asking me to give a talk, the first thing I thought about was like how anxious I was. I started sweating, and I immediately started to make this list of reasons why I should get out of this. So what I wanted to share with you is the 12 reasons why I shouldn't be giving you a motivational talk. Okay, so first thing I'm going to talk about is just how self-conscious I am as a teacher. A couple of the pictures I posted up here were just to shamefully expose what my classroom looks like. If you're ever in there, this is on a daily basis. First off, I think there are so many other teachers that are more appropriate for being here. First off, I didn't go to school to be a teacher. My education is in illustration and graphic design. I'm an artist by heart and by trade. At a later point in my career, I felt like I had something to share with what I knew, so I came into teaching. I'm definitely not a great public speaker. This is the most awkward and intimidating thing that I could be doing. I struggle with motivating my students. If you come into my classroom, it's a lot of really quiet, and it looks like things are happening, but there's probably half of the kids aren't really doing what they're supposed to be doing. I'm not the most engaging teacher. At the beginning of the year, I tell the kids that I tend to do things like repetitively, and I act like a robot because that's how I feel more confident. So I'm not like doing really cool, exciting, teachery things, and it's a mess. Which is just like my classroom. Like we said, I tend to find myself really scatterbrained and disorganized. Overall, if I were to give myself a grade, I think I would give myself 2.33, like borderline C. Okay. This is how I dress on a daily basis. Some of the things I feel about, very self-conscious about myself, why I shouldn't be giving this talk is, I'm shy and introverted. I tend to keep to myself a lot. I don't go outside of my comfort zone. Even around school, I tend to keep to a really close group of people, just because I'm, introverted. I'm not always the most positive person. I tend to cover a lot of things with humor, and I tend to be cynical and sarcastic. I'll try not to do that today. I don't want to leave you off of a bad note, bad taste in your mouth. I haven't led an especially motivational or inspirational life. Some of the talks that we've had earlier today just really kind of blew me away. If you were to kind of categorize what my life was like, it's probably pretty normal. So, yeah. I don't always stand up for myself or let my voice be heard, and I try to avoid attention. These are the things that I'm self-conscious about and why I feel like I shouldn't be giving a motivational talk. But the number one reason why I feel like I shouldn't be giving this motivational talk is because I struggle with a low self-esteem and trying to build my self-confidence. Or maybe that's the number one reason why I should be giving this talk. Have you ever heard, or have you ever felt like you have that voice inside of you telling you negative things about yourself? You're not going to do good. You're, just non-positive things. Well, psychologists and authors, Dr. Robert Firestone and Dr. Lisa Firestone, talk about a concept called the critical inner voice. This is something that I was kind of reflecting on as I was putting this thing together. The critical inner voice is a well-integrated pattern of destructive thoughts towards ourselves and others. These are those nagging voices or thoughts that make up this internalized dialogue, are at the root of much of our self-destructive and maladaptive behavior. And I'm just going to read these because I looked them up and copied and pasted them. Some common voices include thoughts like, "You're stupid," "You're not attractive," or "You're not like other people." These inner voices usually come from early life experience that are internalized and taken in as ways we think about ourselves. The critical inner voice is not our conscience, but rather it's degrading and punishing, and often leads us to make unhealthy decisions. So, all in all, the critical inner voice is an internal enemy that can affect every aspect of our lives, including our self-esteem and confidence, our personal and intimate relationships, and our performance and accomplishments at school and work. These negative thoughts affect us by undermining our positive feelings about ourselves and others and fostering self-criticism, inwardness, distrust, self-denial, addictions, and a retreat from goal-directed activities. Sounds a lot like something I've heard. I don't know if anyone else can relate to that, but now, for me, my critical inner voice, when I look in the mirror in the morning, whenever I look in the mirror, what I see is Mr.Recato, 8th grade, middle school, that little chubby kid with the glasses there. I see that in my reflection. I hear my own voice saying to me things like, "You're too short. You're too fat. You're ugly. You're poor." A couple of these things. Up until sophomore year of high school, I was 4'7". 4'7". I don't know. I'm not that much taller now, but that was one of my things. You're not talented enough. Nobody likes you. Nobody takes you seriously. You're not good enough, and you're going to fail. These are the things that I tell myself when I look in the mirror. In the 8th grade, I developed my self-image based on my physical attributes, what I wasn't like in comparison to my peers. What my home life situation was, like I said, I was a product of a broken marriage, a bad divorce, single parent household, having to raise myself. I kind of internalized a lot of that, and that's how it made me look at myself. And I kind of build my self-image based off of the inadequacies that I have about things that I mostly don't have control over. My critical inner voice holds me back from being confident, making brave choices, and makes me second guess every decision that I make. My critical inner voice influences my work and my relationships with others. So, how do I deal with my critical inner voice? I call it adjusting my mirrors. If anyone drives in a car, if you ever shared a car with somebody, or after you go into to sit down in a car that someone's been driving in that's a little bit taller or a different size, what's the first thing that you have to do? You have to adjust your mirrors, right? You sit down there, you have to tinker with it so that instead of seeing your forehead or whatever, you have to see what's behind you. You have to be able to see what you need to see. Well, for me, adjusting my mirrors is listening to the other voices that I have in my life that are contrary to what my critical inner voice is saying. Listening to the people that are supportive in our lives, that have supportive things to say. For me, when I was 8th grade me, I had a dad who was always supportive and believed in everything that I did. I had a sister who saw more in me than I saw in myself. I had friends and classmates who had positive things to say about me. And then I had my teachers who encouraged my learning and my art. They said things like, "Your height doesn't matter. You should be happy in your skin. Looks don't matter." Even though I think I'm pretty okay now. But you've got everything that you need. Your art is amazing. We like you. Believe in yourself. You're healthy, and you're going to succeed. Adjusting your mirrors is listening to those people that have the positive things to say to you. Now, as an adult, I have a wife who supports me and believes in me. I have 2 children who love me and see the world in me. I have my friends and colleagues here at Federal Way that always will say to me, "You're doing a great job," or "Way to go," even if kids are crazy, my classroom's a mess. So, if you can relate, think about how you can adjust your mirror. Who are those people in your life that have positive things to say, even when you don't feel that way about yourself? Choose to listen to what those people have to say. Okay, so when I wake up in the morning, I wake up at 4 a.m. to kind of get myself ready for the day. Take about half an hour just to get, in line with what my life is all about, knowing that I have to come to school and come here and be a teacher. And I adjust my mirror. I look in the mirror and I hear all those bad things, but I wait until that critical inner voice is quiet and all I can hear is the positive voices in my ear. I hear things like, "You are a good teacher. You are living a blessed life. People like you. You don't have to please everybody. And you're a good husband." Do I have another one there? Oh, there. "You're a good dad, and we love you." After I hear those things, I feel ready for the day. So, Quieting your critical inner voice, that's kind of the first step of building your self-confidence. I just wanted to leave you some other parting tips that have kind of helped me with building up my self-confidence. Hopefully you can find some value in these. Adjust your mirror and stand up to your inner critic. Practice self-compassion and acknowledge that it's a process and you're never going to be perfect. Stop comparing yourself to other people. Respect yourself and live up to your own moral code. Tell yourself that you know the difference between right and wrong. And last but not least, do something meaningful. Take part in things in your life that are larger than yourself and helpful to others. And I'll tell you guys what I tell my kids in class. Pull out your phone, take a picture of this, hang on to this for the test later on today. So, before I let you go, I just wanted to introduce you to my reason, the reason why I am who I am, my motivation. This is my family. They're sitting just right there in the audience. This is my wife, Clarissa, my eldest daughter, my 12-year-old, Karina, and my 9-year-old, Olive. And I just wanted to say that sorry, I needed the cards for this one. What I'm sharing with you guys today, sharing this part of my life with you, I appreciate that you're taking the time to listen, that you dedicated this evening to, give me like a couple minutes of your time. This presentation is for you, for me especially, but especially what I wanted to dedicate this presentation to is to my family and to my two girls, that my hope for them is that they can grow up strong, talented, smart, and that they'll listen to the positive voices in their life and be confident and become confident women because mommy and daddy love you. Thanks, and I'm an eagle. Thank you, and I'm an eagle.